Jason, coming off a couple of tough home losses in big games, how gratifying is this win?
It's huge. It's huge. I think it just should build an incredible amount of momentum for us, incredible amount of confidence and positivity. To get that goal in the first half, I think, was giant for us. I think it took a big monkey off our backs.
Jason, how much did the ball movement and the passing that you guys had in the first half really open things up so that Sebastian could get that goal?
Yeah, I thought the guys, again, the energy on both sides of the ball when we had it, the movement was spectacular. There were players that were wanting to get forward, to take opportunities, to take risk, and then the amount of work that they put in defensively was absolutely spectacular, especially in the midfield.
Jason, you spent the last 10 minutes with 10 men. Can you take us through kind of how you felt and how you felt with the guys' performance?
The first thing I'm thinking, honestly, is I probably am a stupid coach again. Maybe I shouldn't have made that sub. Wasn't, trying to analyze in my mind as quickly as I could if I could have held the subs so that we wouldn't have had to play it down a man. But at the end of it all, I don't think that you really think about somebody pulling a muscle. It wasn't due to fatigue. It was just due to a muscle pull. So, but we've been there before, haven't we? I think back to the Open Cup match when we went into overtime. I think we were playing down a man. And for some moments in that game, in the playoff, we were down 2 men. So our guys have been through about every scenario that's possible in the game this year, and I think that they should be well prepared to hopefully move forward into the next round and beyond.
Jason, did you ever think you hit the crossbar, you hit the post, and then you had
Deja vu all over again, right? Yeah, I did. I started to think to myself, it's going to be one of those nights. LA will catch us on a counter or something, and we'll walk away from here scratching our head that we couldn't put one of those away. But just a little bit of a different feeling tonight, the whole night. From before the game to as the game was going on, the spirit in the crowd tonight didn't feel like there was any lulls from our crowd, and oftentimes there is. And tonight I think that the crowd did an unbelievable job of just keep spurring us on, and that led to a Schuler goal. Interesting, right? The 2 guys that scored tonight, I believe it's their first goals of the season. Sebastian is his first goal of the career. So this was a playoff series of guys that don't normally score goals, scored the goals.
Jason, what was better tonight? I mean, Sunday when we were in Carson.
How much time do we have?
Well,
Come on.
Well, I'm just saying that you guys bossed that game for 120 minutes.
Yeah, I just think I say this to the guys, and I've said this in the press before. I think sometimes that we do too much talking about tactics and shape and all the other things, the beautiful game, the passing, all these things. For me, honest to God, every time Real Salt Lake wants to win the game more than their opponent, we win the game. And tonight, we wanted it more than the LA Galaxy. And I feel like last Sunday, they wanted it more than us. And I think I honestly think that, I wouldn't say all the time for everybody, but I would say 90% of the time, the team that wants to win more in our league wins.
You said that you had a different feeling about tonight. What do you think specifically that was? What were you seeing from your guys?
Heard je ne sais quoi? Je ne sais quoi. I don't know. It's just a feeling, I think, and I think perhaps it was great that there was so much talk about this difficult thing that we've been having about playing games at home, in games that we are expected to win, and I think that we've had a hard time dealing with that. So everybody was talking about that the last couple of days, and I think there's one thing that people forgot. This wasn't a game that we were supposed to win. This wasn't an opponent that we were much better than. This wasn't a game where we could come in and draw and advance. We had to win. Our backs were against the wall. We were the underdogs, and our guys went out there and showed what it means to be part of a team and to treat each other like family.
Jason, can you talk a bit about Schuler's contribution through the series?
He was massive. Again, I mean, the number of balls that he stepped in front of Donovan and Keane today, and made physical challenges with them, and completed the first pass. All those little things were huge for us. And it's, again, the game that I walk away from and I say, I'm really happy that Chris Schuler scored the game winner, because, frankly, he deserved it.
Jason, I know Raimondo played well, but maybe talk about that save on Donovan. I think about the 65th minute, where really it seemed like an easy goal for Donovan, and the way Raimondo popped up and saved it.
Which one? It's like all a blur. The most dangerous one I remember is when he went down on the ground to save it. It bubbled out in front of him, and the defender made a good play to help him. I believe that was Schuler that was there to make a hard tackle on Keane. I only remember it because I remember seeing Bruce wanting a penalty. But yeah, I mean, I think again at this time of the year, you need players like Ramondo, Beckerman, Morales, Sabarillo to step up and make huge plays, Borcher, Schuler included. And all of those guys did everything and anything possible to win that game. They were willing to do whatever it took.
Adam Acosta wanted me to ask about your tie.
Is that right? I told him that I was going plain and simple tonight, just the dark blue suit and the plain red tie, and that in the end I would look elegant. Your choice.
Hey, Jason, did we see a coming of age a little bit tonight of Sebastian Velasquez? He was doing a lot of work defensively, got a first goal of his career. Can you just talk about his progression, earning the start tonight, and the way he performed for the time he was in?
He's just a guy that we have quite a few guys on the team that would literally run through that wall. If the coaching staff asked him, Sebastian, run through that wall, he'd run through that wall right now. And he is an extremely hungry player that has some real gifts. Sometimes it's difficult to get some of those gifts to come out of him. And tonight I think that he did take a major step forward. There was no kind of kowtowing to the veteran players around him. He just stepped forward and said, I'm going to have an impact on this game in some way. And he did in a major, major way.
Jason, it's a short turnaround before the next one. Sunday games aren't usually really big here in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that the crowd needs to bring again to help the team finish this off?
For me, it's pretty simple. We need to be here early. There needs to be that really raucous singing of the song, Believe, at the beginning of the match. I thought that was spectacular today, how noisy it was. And then just to carry that energy all the way through. And to continue to believe. It's what we tell our players all the time, that no matter what happens in the game, continue to work hard, continue to stay together, and continue to believe. And if you do those three things, something in the end will happen right.
RSL hosts Portland this Sunday, November 10th at 7 o'clock. Get your playoff tickets today.